Why do I tweet the most random stuff? I'm going to bed. Alright, let's see how many likes it's got. Motherfucker. So, 20th Century Fox, the studio for creating films so good that it was bought by Disney for some reason.
I'm the mascot of an evil corporation.
What the heck? They have made some amazing hits like Home Alone, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Avatar, Ice Age, Greatest Showman, Mrs. Doubtfire, and many more, including the greatest film of all time, which was The Book of Life, that Disney themselves copied 3 years later and made a horrible film called Coco. Hate me all you want. I hate Coco more than any other Disney film except Cars 3. It's so awful. It's so bad. It's just straight up a knockoff. Sorry, I got distracted. Back to the subject. Out of all the films they have made in the many years of them being founded or whatever, one film series stands out from the rest. A film series that was based off a book series that Jeff Kinney originally wanted to be an adult book series for some reason. That film series being Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I have seen all these movies way too many times. I've read all the books way too many times except for the stupid knockoffs, right? So today, I'm going to explain why the Greg Journal films are the greatest anime trilogy of all time. Starting with, obviously, the first movie, so here we go.
Zooey Mama, Zooey Mama.
All the way back in 2007, the very first book came out, and I was only 2 years old when it came out, and somehow it became very popular. I'll be honest, I did research, but I'm not sure if all of it was true, so don't take my word for it. But after the first book and the best book in existence came out, based around the real child of this series, Rodrick, who to this day I still can't figure out if it's pronounced Roderick or Rodrick, so I'll just pronounce it however I feel like it. So after the success of Daddy Rules, Jeff was contacted by film studios to make a live-action Wimpy Kid movie, and after 20th Century Fox picked it up and it was created, it was the greatest film of 2010. The movie had an amazing cast, story, and introduced the greatest character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Sharab Gupta, played by Karan Brar, I hope I said your name correctly, who also starred in the greatest Disney XD murder mystery, Jesse. Anyways, Sharag is the real hero of this 2010 anime Oscar winner. He deserves all the bitches, man. If anyone here wants to date this Chad, remember,
I'm Sharag Gupta, and I'm single.
He tells Greg and Riley about the STD spreading around the school called the Cheese Touch.
Stop!
Huh?
Good God, man! You almost got the cheese touch. What?
The cheese touch.
He also helps out Greg in other parts of the movie, and what does he get in return? Harassment from Greg. This poor helpful kid was bullied by Greg because Greg only cares about himself. He even leaves him behind on the last day of school. But hey, Shrug did get revenge by making Greg think he was with Holly. Shrug definitely deserved more screen time, more respect. He was the most helpful and funniest character in this entire film series. And just trying to be a wholesome boy in general. He is a wholesome boy. Like, there's no arguing that. It isn't Shrug that Greg only bullies. Greg also bullies other people, one of them being his best friend Rowley, who is trying to be himself but Greg wants to change him. Greg is a douche to Riley the entire time. In this movie, he broke his arm, he made fun of things he loved, like Joshy. Like, you can't do that to someone you love, dude. Like, Greg even realizes it later in the movie. He can't change who his friends are. Riley didn't deserve any of this. He was even forced to eat the cheese that caused cooties around the entire school. Greg did get karma though. Riley became the most popular kid in school. He was tortured by Fregley. Actually, wait, I just realized something. Every time Greg bullies someone or is just straight up a douche to them because he only cares about himself, because according to fan theories he's a psychopath, he always gets karma from it. It happens in all the movies. The only thing that I guess I do kind of feel bad for is Greg being harassed by the crybaby that is Patty Farrell. This little shit acts like a 5-year-old. She wants everyone to care about her. So to achieve that, she forces everyone to do what she wants them to do. Or else she'll beat them up or threaten them by saying her mother could ruin their life because she's the president of something. I don't remember what she said. Eventually the movie ends off with a good note, with Greg learning he can't change people based on who they are. The movie is supposed to be relatable, and it definitely is relatable, and that's why it was the best 2010 science fiction film of all time. However, there was one waifu in this movie that still confuses me to this day, and I have no idea what happened to them. That character being Angie. She basically just watches everything unfold with Greg and Riley, but then just disappears. I'm guessing she went to high school or something, but she never appears in any other movies. Anyways, that was like an overall sum up of the first movie. The next two movies I'm about to cover are Rodrick Rules and Dog Days, obviously. But I actually do go more deep into detail with these two movies because they like expand more other than just Greg and Riley fighting. So, on to Rodrick Rules, aka the greatest anime movie of all time. I don't know why I'm making this video. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Daddy Rules is a direct sequel to the first movie, and I must say, Chad Rules is the best Wimpy Kid movie out of all of them. It has the same cast, same energy, same everything. This time though, it's focused around the love of my life, Rodrick Heffley, played by Devin Bostick, and he shall only be the Rodrick. Nobody can replace him. I mean, look at this man. He's guaranteed to get all the bitches, unlike Shirag. Well, actually, Shirag and Rodrick can get all the bitches. But look, Rodrick is literally like, listen, I'm gonna come out and say it, I'm bisexual. Rodrick is literally the hottest man I've ever met in my entire life. Okay? Okay. Anyways, Greg and Riley are moving on to the next grade, and Greg's mom wants him and his brother to start bonding, and even though they don't want to, they end up actually bonding a lot by destroying the house, pranking Post Malone, I mean Coach Malone. While that's going on, Greg also wants to get together with a new girl named Holly Hills, but let's be real here, Shirag had a way better chance of getting her than any other man. Greg eventually gets really close to Holly Hills, and they don't exactly get together, but they are extremely close friends. Same with Riley, and even shows more of their friendship in this movie as well. And once again, Greg is trying to get him to do stuff that he doesn't want to do, but they aren't like super major in the first movie. For example, Greg tells Riley to do what Rodrick says, which is deny, 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 or as Riley likes to describe it, lie, lie, lie. Which, it's true, he is in fact lying. What does Rodrick want them to lie about? The greatest party of 2011, which took place at Greg's house. Rodrick originally was just gonna lock Greg in the basement for the entirety of the film, but thanks to a weird coincidence with their mom over the phone, he got out of there and partied with Riley. It's actually kind of impressive. There is a lot of noise going on in this 2011 party, right? And the second Rodrick realizes his mom is calling him, he makes everyone in the entire house shut up so he can have a conversation with her, and no one made a single peep. That's very impressive, I gotta admit. Like, if I was that mom, I would have never noticed. Like, how do you like not make a single peep? You have so many people in the house. Anyways, Greg and Riley have a great time at the party. Greg got whipped creamed, Riley got kissed by two girls. Overall, they had an amazing time and showed no regrets. And then the next morning, they regret everything and rush to get the entire house clean. After Susan says,
"Hey guys, Manny's sick. We're on our way home. See you in an hour."
Holy moly!
so now they have to shift into maximum overdrive and clean the entire house as fast as possible. And somehow they manage to do it. However, at the end of cleaning the house, Frank finds something that makes Greg realize he made the biggest mistake of his life.
Hey! What the? You guys got something you want to tell me? No? What was General Grant doing on the thermostat? I have no idea. No idea. No idea? Huh?
Okay, but for real, I'm sure all of you have seen this movie and, like, know the mistake they made, which was they changed the door to the bathroom because it said Rodrick rules on it, which he definitely does. But since the bathroom door changed, it no longer has a lock. Which, by the way, how many of you watching actually have a lock on your bathroom door? Because every single house I have ever lived in or have visited never had a lock. Maybe it's just a coincidence, I don't know. They eventually let Susan and Frank find out about the party thanks to a giant camera roll that they didn't bother to delete. So they get grounded and go to their grandpa's for a little bit. And honestly, this is where the movie got kinda weird, and it doesn't really make too much sense. Sort of felt like filler, but maybe it's just me, I don't know. I'm not gonna go too in depth of what happened there, but basically, the only good thing that happened there was Greg bonded with Holly a lot more after finding out they had a lot in common. Holly was like visiting at the place where their grandpa was. But then Rodrick stole Greg's death note and he ended up in the women's bathroom. Yeah, it was kind of losing track of the story for a bit. Once they get back, Rodrick wants to perform on the stage at school to win $1,000 and possibly get their band somewhere for once. So after Greg convinced Susan to let Rodrick perform even though he was grounded, chaos ensues on the stage. Greg and Rowley did a magic trick with cheesy outfits. Surprisingly, everyone enjoyed it. Patty Farrell screamed the lyrics to the song Memory and made my dad cry. It's gonna be okay, Rodrick. You don't have to cry. It's just a sad song. Shirag was showing off his dank Fortnite dances. Like, look at this man. He's going all in. Then finally, Lauded Dipper was on stage. I'm sorry, I'll pronounce it correctly. Then finally, Loaded Diaper was on stage. And the real star of that performance was Susan, partying on the side like there's no tomorrow. Frank recorded it, Greg uploaded it to YouTube, the video became a viral hit in the end, and in the end, Greg and Rowley became very close brothers, and that's the end of this masterpiece. So the movie's message was to basically just be a better brother in this film, and while the first film's message was to be a better friend, and in my eyes, Daddy Rules has, in my book, an outstanding 11 out of 10. Alright, on to Dog Days. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you guys. This movie was the thing that introduced me to the world of Greg the Psychopath and his questionable family. I was staying at like my cousin's or something, and I don't really remember, but they turned on the movie Dog Days after I went to bed. I woke up in the middle of the night and saw that the movie was playing, and it just so happened that the scene that was playing when I woke up was the scene where Greg and Rowley were sleeping in the same bed together. And Greg snuck downstairs to send an email to his parents. I had no idea what it was at the time, but then the next morning I found out the name of the movie. I went home, watched it, then I read the first 4 books, then I watched the first movie, and then finally I finished reading all the books at the time they were out and watched Rodrick Rules. I never owned them on DVD or on any streaming services. I always went to my local Family Video in my town and always rented them from there multiple times. And recently that place shut down, which actually made me really upset. I used to go inside you all the time and read Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I used to walk through this door all the time. That's where I would drop off the movies. I don't know if you can see it, right after I was done, you know, shopping for them. They closed down. I'm so depressed. And you know what? I regretted buying this movie from this place. I hate this movie so much. Okay, I'm done filming my stupid skit here. It's so sad to see this place closed down, but I gotta get out of here because a lot of people just looked at me weirdly. Okay, backstory over. Let's talk about this mid-tier film. In the third final film in the Wimpy Kid universe, it's summertime. Greg is at a school, and in this movie, Greg is learning to be a better son to his dad, who, I swear, he was on some type of illegal drug that made him do this over-the-top performance of an actor. He's incredible. He's also the funniest character in this film, aside from Shrog Gupta, obviously. I need to stop bringing him up. The film starts off with them going to a public pool, and as soon as they are there, chaos is already ensuing. Greg walks into a room full of mammals, cracking their toenails, washing each other in the shower, and Manny got lost in there. I don't have much to say about Manny, by the way. He is literally the devil of this entire franchise, but that's all he really is. He's just a spoiled little kid. Anyways, this is supposed to be the best summer ever, where Greg was going to play video games and finally get together with Holly Hills. Spoiler alert, even though there is enough spoilers in this video, he does play video games for like way too long until Frank catches him, and he ended up getting together with Holly in the end of this movie. Oh, and despite Shrug being creepy in the second movie, in Greg's imagination, Holly was married to Shrug.
Hey Holly, how was your summer?
Great. I got married. You know my husband, Shrug. Hello, Gregory.
I honestly wish I would have happened in this movie. Would have been the funniest thing ever. But instead of them getting married, Shrug just drowns in the student stampede.
Gregory! Help me! Help me!
I think I showed that clip already. Anyways, let's back up and let's name off all the things that made this the best summer ever, even though some parts almost ruined it. Susan started a book club with Greg, Rowley, and Shrug, of course, which didn't last long because Rowley started going to the country club and took Greg with him. And once Greg found out Holly also goes to the country club, he starts going there almost every day with Rowley, just so he can hang out with his future wife. They actually bonded a lot at the country club, even if some of it was embarrassing. Greg and Rowley learned how to play tennis. Rowley got nutshelled by Patty Farrell. Greg tried to impress Holly by jumping off the diving board but loses his pants in the process. I should back up and say that Frank doesn't want Greg at the country club. He was wanting Greg to go do stuff with him, but since Greg doesn't want to, he told Frank he has a job there, which confuses me. How did Frank see right through that lie? Greg is like 12 or something. Anyways, it took one trip to change everything forever. Greg goes with Rowley and his family to the boardwalk, which has the cranium shaker. And during that trip, Greg gets extremely creeped out by Rowley's horrifying and questionable family. Anyways, they finally go to the boardwalk, they get a mix of ice creams, and finally they face their fears and ride the cranium shaker. Anyways, after they ride it and shit their pants, Rowley's parents yell at them for not meeting back up with them in an hour, which makes me wonder, what did they do for an hour? Finally, the next day, Greg had enough. He accidentally called 911 somehow. Rowley's dad got tackled, and Rowley did something that he has never done in his life, which was lie to Greg. Saddest moment in anime right here. A little while later, though, they made up because Greg got Holly's sister Heather a real live band at her Sweet 16. That band is none other than Loaded Diaper. Oh, I forgot to mention, Holly's sister is in this movie too, and I think Greg describes her best.
She's like Rodrick in a dress.
But before they go to Heather's Sweet 16, Greg's dad takes them to the Wilderness Explorers group. Greg and Rowley find out that the people there are talking shit about Frank, so Greg, Rowley, Fragley, and Shrug set up an epic prank to get revenge, which kinda worked. Shrug also got pranked while setting up the prank.
What are you doing?
I've been ensnared by my own handiwork.
After that tiny little bit of trial and error, they go for it. Greg goes into the headmaster's tent, I forgot his name, tried to put his aunt in his bed, but he accidentally causes a lot of noise, therefore the leader walks in, thinks raccoons are invading the place. Greg freaks out because he got the ants all over him. I don't really know how to describe what happens next, so here's just a clip of what happened. After that, Greg confesses to his dad that they did it. Frank immediately notices the headmaster had a TV and stuff after yelling at him to shut up when he was talking shit about his son. So they get out of there, and finally, one more special piece of summer happens at the end of this movie, which is Heather's Sweet 16 that I mentioned earlier. Rodrick and his band are ready to go. Rowley gets abused by Heather, and finally Rodrick performs the greatest song ever in an attempt to get with Heather, hopefully. What is this song, you may ask? Why, it's none other than Justin Bieber's Baby. This was hands down the greatest song Loaded Diaper ever performed. But of course, halfway through Rodrick's beautiful singing, he destroys Heather's head and just overall destroys the party. I swear, this film series has a never-ending amount of hilarious humor that's completely random, and it fits right into the category of Saucy Fry Studios level of humor. Anyways, thanks to Rodrick's beautiful performance, Greg and Holly got together, Greg became a real guest at the country club, and that is where the movie ends. Okay, that was a lot. So much stuff happened. I feel like the writers realized that this story doesn't take place at school, so they just wanted to expand the world around the characters. Well, I gotta say, I think they could have toned it down a little bit because it went around to like multiple locations and so many stories happened, but they all go towards the goal of Greg and Frank getting together. I watched these movies again before I wrote the script for the video, and I still don't doubt that I might have missed something because so many different things happened. I must mention that this movie does not deserve the name Dog Days. The movie literally showed the dog that they got for not very long. The movie was only about Greg and Frank going to multiple different places, and Greg trying to get together with Holly. Never mind, maybe it does deserve it because dogs are crazy animals, and this movie just had so many crazy things going on. I don't even know how I can rate this movie, so many things happen, it's hard to sum up. But overall, it gets a 7.5 out of 10 from me. It was very good and had a perfect ending to this crime drama trilogy, and after that, no more movies ever came out after that. Totally no movies came out after that. Okay, real talk, I am not talking about the abomination that is The Long Haul, and I am not going to talk about the new Disney Plus animated movies. There is a new Rodrick Rules animated movie coming out December 2nd. I'm not sure when this video is going to be out. The script is being written in October. I can't say whether Rodrick Rules animated crapped on the original Rodrick Rules, but I wouldn't doubt it since the first anime movie crapped on the original first movie. Overall, these are my 100% genuine thoughts, but I don't think I can just give my thoughts. I gotta get other people's opinions on this amazing anime trilogy as well. So what you're about to watch is me going around to multiple locations and going around the internet asking my friends what they think of the Wimpy Kid movies. Enjoy! Alright bro, tell me your thoughts on the Wimpy Kid movies.
I think they're truly a masterpiece in their own way. I think Dog Days was horrible, but the first two were very good.
Anything else you want to add?
Every moment of them. I loved the cheese touch. That is a very good plot.
Yeah.
It spreads awareness of STDs and what they can do to you. And it basically created cooties. But yeah, I thought it was great.
That's all?
Yeah.
Alright, good to know. Anything you want to say, Aiden? What are your thoughts on the Wimpy Kid movies?
Fortnite. Oh.
Just that? Just Fortnite? No? Okay.
Fortnite balls.
Alright. Well, Stat, you got anything you want to say about with the Wimpy Kid movies? No? What about you, CJ? No. No? Alright. Hey, gamers, I got a gift for you.
Don't sound good. Keep going, Wesley. Andrew, snap it in half. This movie is so shit. Why is it invincible? Oh my Christ. Why is it bending like this? Wait, hold on. Ow! It's not. Here, hold that. It's not. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. Keep going.
I think it's still watchable.
This movie's shit.
Don't stab me with it.
Here you go, Todd.
It destroyed your favorite movie.
Ah! Look that hole in there.
Oh hey, you got yourself a redemption code.
I'm gonna take that though. What's the redemption code?
To download it digitally.
You gotta destroy that redemption code.
Is this my bad family?
Alright, my final thoughts are that this was the greatest trilogy to ever come out. It had an amazing sense of humor, the cast was amazing, Shrug is still my favorite anime supervillain, Rodrick will forever be the love of my life, and he will never be replaced, no matter how many times the executives try to. This trilogy definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame of greatest anime trilogies of all time. Yeah, that's about it from me. I guess I'll see you in whatever video I make next. If you guys like this, comment, like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.